Legendary director Francis Ford Coppola is at the center of a Me Too scandal right now, as extras on the film set of Megalopolis filmed him getting a little bit too touchy-feely with the female extras during what they called a bacchanalian nightclub scene. So we can see the video here where he is seen grabbing and kissing female extras on the set of Megalopolis. There are actually two different videos, but it's very clearly him. They seem to be taking it well, but according to inside sources, they complained about it afterwards.
It's because he's Italian.
Here he is. He's not creepy. He's just Italian. Listen to Chris Cuomo on this issue.
Was it Chris Cuomo?
I think it was Chris Cuomo who said, I'm just Italian.
Just imagine, what you guys also have to remember, guys, is because this is a movie, it's very likely there's no actual music playing and those people are just fake dancing.
Yeah.
Andrew Cuomo?
Was it? I thought it was Chris Cuomo who said that... No, Chris Cuomo said that he wanted to commit mass murder after he was fired by CNN, and he was like, I'm passionate because I'm Italian. So that it's an excuse that can be kind of used for a lot of things. But there was a lot to this. So first off, this movie has been getting unflattering coverage in the media for at least a year and a half now.
From the beginning.
And I don't know the whole history of it, but it sounds like this has been in a sort of level of production hell for 40 years. And there were rumors of peril on set, a ballooning budget, crew exodus, and chaos. And that's because Francis Ford Coppola is actually funding the entire thing himself. It has a $120 million budget that is all on his dime, and he's also paying for the marketing cost as well. He is the czar. He is in charge of everything, and if you want to make a complaint, he's the guy at the top. So if he does something that makes you uncomfortable on set, you don't have anyone to talk to about it.
There's the door.
It's basically the Mr. Beast game show all over again. But two sources told Variety that Francis Ford Coppola appeared to act with impunity on set. So because he's financing the entire thing, there were none of the traditional checks and balances in place. And this follows a bombshell report from The Guardian back in May this year that claimed the same thing, saying that he tried to kiss some topless and scantily clad female extras because he told them he was trying to get them in the mood. Another part of that report was that he was just smoking exorbitant amounts of weed. They said he would often just sit in his trailer for hours on end, wouldn't talk to anyone, was often smoking marijuana. Hours and hours would go by without anything being filmed. He's just vibing.
Who wouldn't want to kiss that guy?
He's vibing out. He's obviously paying for the whole thing, so it's on his dime if he wants to spend hours in his trailer smoking weed. And then saunters out to go feel up the female extras. That's on him.
Oh, it's funny because it's the worst aspects of Hollywood that everyone's heard over the years. It almost sounds like a scene from a movie about, like a meta scene from a movie about Hollywood. Like, one thing that I've always appreciated is Hollywood is pretty good when they satirize themselves. They're pretty good at poking fun at the worst aspects of their character. Like,
but they always say it's them, it's not us.
Well, but like when they do a story about a director being a piece of shit, or a writer being annoying, or a producer being a bully, like, they lean into it. The best satirization comes from people who really understand what they're making.
What you know.
Yes, exactly.
The scene in question was shot in February 2023 at a concert hall in Atlanta, and the call sheet says the actresses playing female partygoers were cleared for topless nudity, while others in the scene were cleared for scantily clad.
One of the things I used to like doing on IMDb is go look up the people who play extras, like in old television shows. I'm like, I wonder whatever happened to them. Like, is they still doing it? Is they still acting? And I'll go and like just randomly look up somebody who plays girl at bar number 2 in some old television show and see if they're still acting. Most of the time they still are, usually in like local theater and stuff.
Well, one of them might have been in this scene, and this is like what drove them away.
Yep.
One source who was on set during the nightclub scene estimated that about 200 people assembled, including background actors and crew, as Coppola started directing the scene. He kept leaping up to hug and kiss several women, often inadvertently inserting himself into the shot and ruining it, which one source said was unusual. I've worked with really important directors, and that behavior is uncommon. The most I've ever seen a director do is say something like, "High energy, guys." I've never seen anyone on set so much as touch an actor. The source said that after multiple takes, Francis Ford Coppola got on a microphone and announced in earshot of everyone in the room, "Sorry, if I come up to you and kiss you, just know it's solely for my pleasure."
Oh my God.
He knows he's doing it. A spokesperson for Coppola declined to comment on the videos. However, a source close to the filmmaker noted that despite the death of his wife in April, Megalopolis came in on time and on budget.
Wow. So is that what's happening here? Was this the processing of the death of his wife, and he's just gone off the deep end?
Like he's in the depths of his grief, and he decided to go kiss some female extras.
Guys, it goes without saying, hands to yourself unless otherwise given permission, right?
Unless you sold your winery to make a movie.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
It's funny because they got quotes from other people on the production who were trying to make it sound more innocent, but it didn't work.
Like what?
The executive producer on Megalopolis.
Yeah, of course. The guy who's got a financial stake in whether this does well is gonna downplay it. Shocking.
An executive producer noted that there were 2 days we shot a celebratory club scene where Francis walked around set to establish the spirit of the scene by giving kind hugs and kisses on the cheek to the cast and background actors. It was his way to help inspire and establish the club atmosphere, which was so important for the film. I was never aware of any complaints of harassment or ill behavior during the course of the project.
It's I'm imagining him coming up, it's like an old mob movie, give him the kiss on each cheek, and he comes up to him, he's like, "I am now going to attempt to give you a kiss on the cheek. Do I have permission?" And they have to write out the form, right? Like
he's just going around with actual contracts, passing them out to everyone.
He's like, "Look, back in my day, we didn't have what are they called? Intimacy coordinators.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Crew members say they looked at each other uncomfortably as he kissed and embraced the background actors. But one source says no one publicly objected to his behavior or tried to stop it.
Well, shocking that nobody publicly pushed back on the guy who's funding the whole movie.
Right, and the fact that there is no studio or streamer who is behind this means there's no HR department. Or anything, no checks and balances. They said because Coppola funded it, there was no HR department to keep things in check. Who were they supposed to talk to? Complain to Coppola and report Coppola to himself?
He was reliably told that when you're rich and famous, they let you do it.
It's true. It's so true, and I say it all the time. But the 2 intimacy coordinators who worked on the film suspiciously weren't there that day.
He said they weren't on the call sheet.
They just weren't on the call sheet that day.
He took a pen and he crossed their names out and filled it in with whiteout.
Yeah, one of them said, "I can't really speak to the reason why they chose to bring us in when they did or not when they didn't." And one production source says the days after the nightclub scene, senior crew members became concerned that video was circulating of Coppola kissing extras and reminded them that as part of their NDAs they had signed, they were not authorized to share footage of the behind the scenes work. But that didn't stop them because it's all over Twitter right now with millions of views.
It could be easily construed as a crime, right? He committed a crime. He advanced on them unwillingly, and no NDA covers criminal behavior.
But if you look at the video, you can see the background actress is just giggling and kind of squirming away, but she doesn't seem like she's traumatized by it.
Because she's trying to get away from him first. And
he's an old guy. He doesn't know the kind of legalistic HR intimacy coordinator culture that has developed around him in this industry. He doesn't know what's appropriate and what's not. It's like the Bill Murray controversy all over again.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah. It's like he's basically senile. They actually consulted an intimacy coordinator who was not on this film to talk about how this was inappropriate. She said, "In the intimacy coordination community, it is recommended that scenes with nudity involving extras have more than one intimacy coordinator on set. overseeing and helping choreograph intimate action for so many people is not something that one intimacy coordinator can do alone.
It's like one intimacy coordinator for every 4 pair of titties.
You gotta, get the ratios right.
Yeah.
On the shoot day, the intimacy coordinators will help establish clear intimacy choreography with the supporting artists and coach intimate movement and check in on them. But that is not what happened. They just weren't called into set that
Still
day.
waiting to find out if there's ever going to be a male intimacy coordinator. My guess is no. But
Every time they interview one of these people, it
they're
just
women.
happens to be a woman.
like, will this end up being one of those ones where like it's only allowed if you're a woman or maybe if it's a gay man?
I mean, I even doubt that it would be acceptable
Yeah.
for a gay
Women
man to
only.
take the role. But they're basically glorified
So
HR reps.
they're saying that men aren't capable of intimacy, and frankly, I find that just to be a little bit rude.
They're just there to make sure that no one writes a memoir. God forbid someone writes a memoir about what happened on set. That's why they exist.
Yeah.
And they have other jobs as well. But yeah, not a good look, especially with the eclectic cast. They have Adam Driver starring in it, and they also have Aubrey Plaza, Shia LaBeouf, Jon Voight, and Giancarlo Esposito.
It's a very eclectic cast of people.
And they're all going to be expected to answer for this.
Look, I wasn't there that day. I wasn't on the call sheet for the dreaded nightclub scene from hell.
Well, back in January 2023, when the reports were coming out about how there was chaos on set, I think Adam Driver was officially asked to record a video addressing the situation and saying, like, I've never had anything but positive experiences with Coppola.
He's
He's
gotta put,
great.
like, a
Everything's
newspaper
going
up, like
fine. There's no relevance whatsoever to any of these reports. It's totally unfounded. And, Coppola himself denied it as well. If they're on time and they're on budget, that's all he's concerned with.
Yeah.
He doesn't really care if you're comfortable.
See, I didn't think it was on budget. I thought this thing went drastically over budget.
Well, that's what the trades were saying at the time, but he's claiming otherwise. I guess we're not going to know yet.
He's like, look, I'm good at my job, all right?
He's like, it only goes over budget if I pay those bills.
Yes, exactly. He's walking around with like a FBI female body inspector shirt on.
I kind of love it. Like, I kind of feel bad because, you can't say anything if this happens to you. He's in charge of the whole thing.
No, it is.
But
it's not good, and that's the problem,
it's par
right?
for the course. I know they're saying that this is an uncommon experience in Hollywood. I highly doubt that.
Yeah,
I think it's completely par for the course.
I don't.
And maybe this guy is just, he was grandfathered in after the Me Too movement revolutionized everything. And he still hasn't really gotten up to date on all the new societal expectations.
Because he's not expected to live that long.
Yeah.
He's really old, right?
Time's a ticking. We got to make money off of this guy.
Maybe there is an element of truth that his wife died and he's like, anything goes. I'm Catholic.
Well, actually, the timing doesn't match up there because she, I think they said she died in April this year. This happened before that.
Well,
So I don't know. It doesn't really
No, it
line
doesn't.
up.
Maybe he's just senile and he just doesn't know what's going on. And he
We
thought
can
it was
hope.
her. Like he's like
he thought they were all her.
he's like, look.
She's like, hold on, honey, I have to go talk to my wife.
Yeah.
Eleanor,
Yeah.
where are you?
You know she's got a name like Helen or
No, her name is Eleanor.
Oh, it's Eleanor.
Or
Okay,
was,
yeah.
I suppose.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just this movie's when is it due? Like, is it?
I think it's coming out
Is it coming
sometime
out?
next week.
It found
or not
distribution?
next week, next year.
I thought it was. Yeah, I thought it was in distribution hell.
Yeah.
No, it got acquired by Lionsgate,
Okay.
but he's still responsible for the marketing costs and all that.
Lionsgate, distributor of The Chosen?
Well, they're gonna have questions to answer if I have anything to say about it. Like,
I don't know. Are you a fan of Francis Ford Coppola?
Not really, no.
You're not looking forward to this one?
No.
It's a
what was the
political
last-
drama.
I
That's
have-
all I know about it.
He's fine.
Yeah.
He's not. He holds no reverence in my heart,
okay.
Okay.
other than Apocalypse Now.
There you go.
The
There you go.
Godfather's great, but
We'll have to have Colonel Kurtz on to talk about this when the movie comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.